I don't make videos like this. This is going to be about hydrocephalus. It is a condition that I was born with, and I've had it for a long time because I've been born with it. It has started to affect me a lot in the past 5 years. It started about 10 years ago, where it first affected my vision. I got double vision 10 years ago, and I wanted to start making videos like this for that, because when you go to look up those two things together, there isn't really any information about it. Where somebody else is talking about it, that is like you. Like, you'll find like a random doctor being like, oh, well, hydrocephalus does this and it does that, and blah, 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 blah. And then you go online and you'll go to some support group, and you probably are going to find this video because you went through all the support groups and you went through all of these other videos and all these other things, and you're like, why do all of these people act like this? I can't explain really the way they act, but it's like, you go to some Facebook support group for whatever medical problem you have. You could be here because I'm talking about blindness, or you're here because talking about double vision, or you're here because of hydrocephalus, or you're here for something that caused it, whatever. But you go to these support groups and you cannot find the information that you're looking for. You're like looking for the exact thing, so can't find it. So you'll go to like type a question, and then there might be one person that will respond, and they'll say, oh, my sister's aunt's dog had that. And you're like, okay. Like that doesn't help me at all. That's not what I'm looking for. And then there's always the one person in every forum, support group, doesn't matter, you could be looking for cars, they'll be like, did you know Google exists? I'm like, I know Google exists. I'm 34 years old and it's 2025. That's not what I'm looking for. Like, I don't, or then it always turns into like this Olympics of who's the most crippled and what you can and can't do and the different this and that. And I'm just like, no, I don't do it. My medical problem is not my identity. I actually hate talking about it. I'm doing this now because what happened a few months ago, I don't know if I'll have another chance to document this in the future. I don't, for it to be so easy for me to do this, by meaning that, I think it was May 1st, I woke up, and this eye, you can tell, it's been a problem for a while. Like, it obviously doesn't track as well with my other eye. Everything was dim. It wasn't bright. It's like somebody turned the brightness down in my vision. And I was like, oh shit. So I call it was a Saturday morning, so I called up my doctor, and she was like, you need to go to the emergency room right now. And I was like, oh shit, oh, okay. So we go to the emergency room. It's like everybody's on me, taking all the tests. They're looking at everything, and they're like, yeah, you seem to be completely fine. I can't find a single thing wrong with you. And I was like, okay, well, this thing's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Like, I can tell because my other one's working, and and she was like, whoa, I don't know. Follow up with your doctor. Whatever, drink plenty of water, all the things doctors say, whatever. And I was like, okay. So I'm just gonna skip a bunch of stuff. I'll just say that then it was like another month went by, and there was another episode of this. I went camping. So what's interesting about this is that when it first happened, I was laying on the ground. When I had fallen asleep on the ground, take a nap, whatever, wake up, dim die. So a month goes by, we go camping, I'm laying on the ground, wake up, dim die. Okay, so I stand up, I got out of the tent, went in my truck, fell asleep, head sitting up. I fell back asleep, wake up, Vision's back to normal. So then it was like another month. I had fallen asleep on the couch like this, probably like this. I wake up, total blindness in this eye. Can't see out of it at all. Completely black. Now, I've looked up lots of videos of people asking, like, blind people, what does a blind person see? And they're like, a blind person doesn't see anything because they don't have an eyeball to give the input. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I had that happen, and I don't know what those people are talking about, but if you're afraid of the dark, good luck, because that is completely black. I would go like this, color bright, everything's nice. Go like this, black. Black. It's black. Eyes open. Really weird experience. I can look in the mirror, with this eye, and I go like this, eyes open, can't see anything. It's fucking crazy. It's insane. I don't like it. It's very weird. So I was like freaking out. I'm like trying to deal with having a panic attack while this is happening at the same time as like my fiance is getting ready to go to work. There's I'm like, holy shit, what is going on? So thankfully my mom shows up and she takes me to the emergency room. Now, on the way to the hospital, I'm in the car, and I'm like trying to, like, as hard as I can to, like, see through what's going on, and I can't see anything, and I'm going like this. I'm just, like, trying so hard to, like, see. I have my cell phone, and I'm shining it, like, have the light on, I'm shining it. I'm like, how is this possible that I don't see anything? What's going on? And it was, like, 20 minutes, we're almost to the hospital. I start seeing some world come back in my eye. I'm starting to see shapes and whatever. And I get in the emergency room. They immediately see me because the triage is like, they think I'm having a stroke again. And then they did all the stroke workup, can't find anything. This time, they're like, we're going to take you. This is at OHSU, by the way. So this is like, they got like everything there. They transferred me over to the KCI Institute. And I think they gave me just about every single test you could possibly do. My first emergency room trip, I had an MRI. Everything came up good. Good. I'm good on everything. Every single test. I was like, I don't have any problems anywhere. No problems anywhere. Blindness in one eye. Insane. And they look through everything. They take the MRI, take the CT scan, they do the little, they did this crazy test where the doctor was like, we're gonna put this dye in your blood, and it's gonna make you pee like fluorescent yellow for 2 days, and it's made out of like shrimp skin. I was like, okay, brother. I was like, whatever, just put it in here and take the pictures of my eyeball and let's get this done with. He was like, okay. So we did it. He's taking all the pictures. Whatever he gets done, they send it over to the doctor. They're all reviewing it. They're like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with your eyeball. I was like, okay. Then they send me off to another test. This test apparently is the one that it tests your optic nerve, like width or whatever, like how big around, like how its health, whatever. And apparently, I have atrophied optic nerves in both eyes. And he's looking at it and he's like, I don't really understand how you have 20/20 vision. Even now, you went blind this morning. Your vision already is starting to come back, and even with what you can see, it's 20/20. He's like, this doesn't happen. This is not what happens. And then he's like, I don't really know what's going on here. Whatever. The MRI that I took from the first trip, they're like, oh, well, you don't have any increased brain pressure. You don't have any low pressure. I'm like, all right, I got a headache. I'm going blind in one eyeball. And it seems to always be a hydrocephalus thing. Like back in high school, when I first had a problem with this, they were like, I was like, I have a headache so bad I want to fucking like not be here anymore, and I don't want to deal with this. And they're like, okay, well, let's send you to the ear, nose, throat doctor. This was back in like 2008. And they're like, whoa, we got to go to the ear, nose, throat doctor. because that's where you go when you have a headache and you're dizzy all the time. Because apparently they thought that I had it was a problem with getting nose and sinus infections and getting into my middle ear. And then they're like, we got to get those tonsils out because it's causing you to get middle ear infections, which is causing the headaches and the dizziness. Blah, 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 blah. So I got my tonsils taken out. Nope, still don't feel good. So then they do the next one. They're like, oh, we're gotta take your adenoids out. I think they did that at the same time. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, if you're still dizzy, there's apparently this thing that happens where these little plates come loose in your middle ear and like maybe your cochlea. I don't know what it is. But so mind you, I already have dizzy problems. They lay me back on a bed and they're like tilting my head around, apparently in the shape of how your middle ear kind of spirals. And they try to get these platelets that come loose and it makes you not be dizzy anymore. And that didn't do anything except make me dizzy for like an hour straight. And then it did nothing. And then a few more months goes by and I'm like, okay, I'm still dizzy, still have a headache, still not doing good. Now it's like so bad, I black out. I actually passed out. I woke up. I don't remember anything. I just know that I woke up in the emergency room and a doctor was carrying me. This was, I think I was a junior in high school. He carries me to the emergency room, spinal tap. He goes, holy shit, your brain's about to explode. He probably didn't say shit. I don't really remember. But that was the first time, that's when I got my first shunt installed on my head. And that was crazy because they made me do all these other things that they had found first before they wanted to address this problem. And I'm just thinking about all this time that's gone by that I had no idea you can go blind from hydrocephalus. I didn't know that was a thing. So I'm just thinking of all this time that's gone by of these doctors doing this. Okay, so then the next one, so this would be like 2015. So this is 2015. I'm at work. I'm a utility technician, so I drove out to wherever I was at the time. I don't remember exactly where I was. Probably, who cares? But vision doubled. All right. So for a few weeks leading up to this, there would be this problem. Like I would sneeze, my eyes would cross, and then it would slowly come back to normal. Right. And then, or I would cough really hard, and then it would cross, and then slowly come back to normal, or whatever like that. It would happen when I yawn, sneeze, cough. Or if I ran really hard, like exercising, something like that, my eyes would stay doubled. And then one day it just doubled and it stayed that way and it never went back to normal. And that was in 2015. We're in 2025 now. So we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of my eyeballs being completely schnockered. So when that started happening, they were like, all right, they start doing all these different tests. They're like, oh, you need to go back to the ENT because we think you might have some nose problems up there that's causing you to get those infections again. I was like, okay. So go to the ENT, they shove a camera up my nose. I don't do cocaine. And I've never bashed my face on anything. I don't know why I had a deviated septum. They said, sometimes people just have those. I was like, okay. So they sent me out to go get nose surgery. So I got the deviated septum fixed. And it didn't fix my double vision. Another thing that my doctor was doing was changing the pressures in the tube in my head that they had installed back when I was in high school. So it's like been 6 or 7 years now, and they're turning the pressure like all the way up to see if that'll change my optic nerves and make them go back to normal or whatever. And that isn't doing anything. It's just making me feel two different spectrums of sick because they're turning the pressure all the way up to like see what happens, and then they're like turning the pressure all the way down to see what happens. And nothing changed. I just got more sick. And then they came to the conclusion, finally, after maybe a year and a half, they're like, you're just gonna be like stuck this way, and we're gonna send you over to OHSU, and then we're gonna send you over to St. Vincent to get this new doctor. And I was like, okay. And then he's messing with it, and he was like, oh, we're gonna take some more MRIs, take some more CT scans, take some more MRIs, and some more MRIs. If Oprah had an MRI machine, she would be giving those shits to everybody, I swear. Especially people with hydrocephalus, because that's the only way anybody can help us. They're like, we gotta go get an MRI. And like, it hasn't changed in like 5 years. Well, I need to go another MRI. And hopefully you have decent health insurance, because for some reason that's like $90 million. Anyways, so they eventually come to the conclusion that I need to get a new shunt put in. So they do that. They put the new shunt in. And I wake up. Well, actually, they were going to not put a new shunt in. What they were going to do is take out the old one. And then I tried looking it up. I don't know what it's called. It's like some sort of procedure that you can do for people with hydrocephalus to make it so your brain pressure will actually equalize on its own without having to have a shunt in it. So they tried to do that. It didn't work for me at all. I got a grand mal seizure right there in the operating room while he was giving me surgery. I don't have seizures, so I've never had one of those before. But so they stopped the surgery. They undid everything and then put me in the ICU. Where at some point I had woken up from my the anesthesia, and I was like in the operating room with a tube down my throat, and I woke up and I was just like I took it out, and then when I woke up in the ICU, I was handcuffed to the bed. And I woke up and I was like, oh shit. I was like, what's going on? I felt that my head hurts so bad. It was the worst headache of my life. This is when I found out, I can't remember which drug it was. It was either fentanyl or the word to my name is albuterol, but it's not that. That's for asthma. It's shit. I can't. Dilaudid, I think that's how you call it. It fell. She came over and she put this stuff right into my syringe, or my IV thing, and it felt like it felt like if you could come from your elbow and then like your whole body. That's what it felt like. It was just kind of crazy. But yeah, so I fell asleep, woke back up. They were letting me know that I was having more surgery again. Now they're going to put the shunt in, whatever. They put it in. And I wake up and they're like, okay, practice walking. Cause for some reason, I don't know why brain surgery makes it so hard to walk when you wake up, but that's what you got to do. They're like, you got to walk around. Used to walk around, get your little walker, whatever. And so whatever, got through that, go home, got over it, whatever. So that was 2019. So now we're May 2025, and I'm waking up with the eyeball thing going on. And guess what? I call. Well, actually, this is OHSU that told me to do this. She calls me up. She goes, "Hey," she goes, "I think we've ran every single test on your eyeballs. There has to be something going on with your tube, because with your shunt, because this happens only when I lay down. So if I fall asleep on my back for an extended period of time, I wake up blind in one eye." I didn't know this was an option I didn't know this was a way that hydrocephalus could fuck you up. Like, I didn't know that was saying. So that's terrifying, because who knows if I just roll over in the middle of the night the wrong way and I wake up and not going to work today, Rocky. That's really cool. That's really fucking cool. Like, that's like, I don't know. I can't even, it's on my mind all the time now. So that's neat. Thankfully, the last time this blindness thing happened in my eye was the time it happened really bad. It's been like a month for my vision to come back to normal. There is one little spot in the lower area of my vision that's like way down here. I barely noticed it, where it's like it's not black anymore, because before it was like this. Like I would sit here with I would close this eye and then I'd fuck with my fingers like this to see when it started coming back. Like, see, now I can start seeing my fingers way down here. This is almost back to normal. Like, this feels like it's almost back to normal, you know. But everything is still kind of faded out in this eye, but I've just been terrifying myself by, like, looking everything up on the internet, and it's like, your hydrocephalus can make people go blind and shit. And I'm like, I'm 34 years old. I'm finally doing better than ever in my life. And that shit's like, no! But, I don't exactly know what I'm doing with this video. I just wanted to make this because I'm going to make more after every appointment. I'm going to do this now. Because I hope that if there's... one person that I can help this through all the headaches and everything, not being able to walk right, not being able to do anything, and they're like me. I don't talk to people about this stuff. It isn't what I like talking about. I hate the other people that use their medical problems as their identity. It drives me insane. And I know just by seeing this, you're gonna be like, oh, it would make you feel better. No, it won't. That will not make me feel better. It will not make me feel better. It makes my skin crawl when people... I used to have to wear an eye patch. I had it somewhere. There's something that you don't know until, like, you're obviously disabled in public. I wore an eye patch for like 5 years, from 2015 to like 2021 when I got my first surgery. People will do weird shit, like I get out of my car to walk into a 7-Eleven and somebody will be like maybe 20 feet away from the door on the other side of me, like they're coming this way and I'm coming this way. They will like open the door for you for an awkwardly long amount of time. Like you're trying to just be normal and this person's like trying to be nice because you're the cripple. I'm like, no, I don't. I just want to go in the fucking store and get my thing and just go on with my day without anybody looking at me any different. That's all I want. That's all I want. I don't want anybody to know that I have a problem. I don't want anybody to talk to me about it. I don't want to. It's not going to make me feel better. If talking to me about it and it made me less upset, also made my headaches go away, my vision go back to normal, made me sleep normal, made it so I can lay on my back without going blind, then cool, I'll talk about my feelings. But it's not gonna work. It just doesn't make me feel good. And going on to these fucking things on Facebook and these support groups doesn't make me feel better. It just doesn't. I don't know how a bunch of dorks like talking about who's got the worst problem is going to make me feel better. I hate seeing that. I don't want to know there's anybody out there that could possibly feel worse than this. This is terrible. It's horrible. And I don't want to tell anybody else who is less worse than me that I'm worse than them. That's something I don't want to do. Like, I don't want to tell somebody else that I'm worse than them, and I don't want somebody else to tell me that they're worse than me. And that's like every single one of these medical pages are like this. There's no support groups for anybody that's like me. I don't know how to... I don't understand this. Like, I just want somebody to go, yeah, man, that fucking sucks. Like, yeah, I know. That's it. That's all I need. It's not like, it's not brain surgery. Like, that's all I want. I don't know. I'm going to upload this, and hopefully if it helps one person, because they just can hear somebody else talk about maybe what they're going through, then awesome. Later.